Earth is our home, and we have been living it for our entire lives. For most of our history, the Earth has provided us with all the natural resources required to sustain life. But today, these resources are dwindling at a fast rate. Do your part by celebrating the EarthHour this year on 27th March 2021. And this video is brought to you to explain and to give awareness about the EarthHour in general and this year's EarthHour in particular. What is EarthHour? EarthHour is a worldwide movement organized by the Worldwide Fund for Nature, that is WWF. The event is held annually, encouraging individuals, communities, and businesses to turn off non-essential electric lights for 1 hour from 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. on a specific day towards the end of March as a symbol of commitment to the planet. Now let's look at the history of the EarthHour. Started by WWF and its partners as a symbolic lights out event in Sydney in 2007, EarthHour is now one of the world's largest grassroots movements for the environment. Held every year on the last Saturday of March, EarthHour engages millions of people in more than 180 countries and territories, switching off their lights to show support for our planet. But EarthHour goes far beyond the symbolic action of switching off. It has become a catalyst for positive environmental impact, driving major legislative changes by harnessing the power of the people and collective action. EarthHour is open source and welcomes everyone and anyone to take part and help amplify the mission to unite people to protect our planet. Why are we losing nature? In the last 50 years, our world has been transformed by an explosion in global trade, consumption, and human population growth, as well as an enormous move towards urbanization. This puts a huge amount of pressure on the natural world around us, leading to impacts like habitat loss, overfishing, and climate change, to name just 3. Globally, 1/3 of all food produced is getting wasted. Here is an example of destroying diversity of the earth for food production. The Cerrado region in South America has the richest diversity of life of any savanna in the world. It is an important water source and it stores carbon that would otherwise accelerate climate change. Sadly, half of the region has already been lost to livestock rearing and soy production for consumption around the world. Impact on freshwater. Healthy rivers, lakes, and wetlands provide huge benefits to people around the world for farming, industry, drinking water, and more. And they are a home for around 1 in 10 known animals. Despite all this, freshwater biodiversity is declining far faster than that in our oceans or forests. Habitat breakdown through pollution and changes made to the flow of rivers and lakes, together with overexploitation and mining, are just some of the threats facing freshwater species. Remember, 1 in 3 freshwater species are threatened with extinction. Now let's look at some terms related to global warming. Tipping points and feedback effects. As the Earth warms, the impacts can fuel each other and cause runaway, irreversible changes. For instance, polar ice reflects sunlight away from the Earth, but when it melts, more heat will be absorbed instead. Also, thawing permafrost releases trapped methane, and drying forests and warming oceans emit their stores of carbon dioxide, all further increasing the greenhouse effect. Climate change. A change in global or regional climate patterns caused by the increasing levels of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere since the Industrial Revolution as a result of the use of fossil fuels. Global warming. An increase in global average temperatures of the Earth's atmosphere through the greenhouse effect, which is caused by increases of pollutants such as carbon dioxide and methane. Carbon dioxide, CO2. Carbon dioxide is a natural gas. It is essential for all life on Earth. It is absorbed by plants as they grow and emitted by all life forms when they respire and when they die, or when they are burned as fuel. Other than water vapor, it is the most common greenhouse gas. Greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases include carbon-based gases such as carbon dioxide and methane. They are vital in the Earth's atmosphere in certain quantities because they help trap and retain some of the sun's heat, which is the greenhouse effect. This makes life as we know it possible on Earth. Without it, the world would be mostly frozen. But too much is dangerous too. Carbon cycle. The carbon cycle is the natural process by which carbon gases are emitted and absorbed across the globe. This determines the overall levels of carbon gases in the atmosphere. What causes climate change? Burning fossil fuels. Over the past 150 years, the world's industrialized nations have changed the balance of the carbon cycle by burning huge amounts of fossil fuels, concentrated carbon such as coal, oil, and gas, breeding cattle and cutting down forests. Industrialized nations have also breeding vast numbers of methane-producing livestock and cutting down the forests that naturally absorb carbon dioxide from the air. Trapped carbon dioxide. The extra carbon dioxide in the atmosphere traps more of the sun's heat, so it's been raising global temperatures. The speed of change has been faster than any natural process and faster than many natural systems can adapt. Environmental and health impacts of food. Currently, our dietary choices are driving a system of food production that is destroying the planet. The agricultural revolutions of the past have allowed us to feed more people, but this has come at the expense of forests, grasslands, wildlife, water, and a stable climate. This exploitation of the environment is behind multiple converging global crises, including the climate and biodiversity crises, which alone have the ability to disrupt the stability of the planet. Luckily, we are waking up to the fact that what we eat really does matter, and that our everyday food choices are among the most important individual actions we can take for the environment and our health. Food is responsible for 27% of greenhouse gas emissions. It is also responsible for 70% of freshwater withdrawals. It is the main driver of biodiversity loss and tropical deforestation. Unhealthy food is also an increasing risk for future pandemics. Our dietary choices are also damaging our health. These choices are characterized by either excess or insufficiency. People in some countries have an abundance of food and choice, while people in other countries still lack both. This highly polarized reality has led to a situation where many countries face a growing obesity epidemic. In others, hunger and undernutrition persist, and in far too many, both realities exist at the same time. Unhealthy diets now pose a greater risk of morbidity and mortality than unsafe sex and alcohol, drugs, and tobacco use combined. 1 in every 3 people are overweight or obese. 1 in every 12 people are hungry or undernourished. Obesity is the leading cause of death. No country is on course to meet 2025 global nutrition targets. So, as we have seen, what we eat really matters to our own health and to the health of our planet. Let's start looking at planet-based diets, a science-based platform to encourage diets that are good for people and planet. You can download the full report at www.earthhour.org. Now, how can we take part on EarthHour? Well, the DNA of the EarthHour movement is to switch off your lights for an hour. So you can switch off your lights for an hour on Saturday, March 27, 2021 at 8:30 p.m. in your local time. You can also learn more about nature loss and climate change. Awareness is the first step before action. Learn about the 2 biggest challenges of our time and why they are more interconnected than you might think. This video is brought to you by Brain Blitz Audios. We are a YouTube channel that focuses on quality educational content. If you would like to know more about us, you can always visit the YouTube link www.youtube.com/c/brainblitzaudios. So, until the next episode, take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay aware about our planet. Bye-bye for now.